After going through all this, the highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows, looking back, what did you learn?
Several things. One is that sometimes your gift takes you to a place that your character is not prepared to handle. And, you know, I can beat a mayor. I could do it right now. I can go in there right now and put stuff together. That's what I was truly anointed for that position. And I wasn't mature enough in my spirit, in my manhood, to handle that responsibility at the time it was given to me. And so the significant character flaw that I had, it rose up and bit me. So I learned that, one, you know, you can go after things before you're ready. And so if you're going after, you need to make sure that you're spiritually ready. You know, I learned also how to surrender to His will and not mine. Sometimes when you're going through something, and I run campaigns, I can make this happen. You know, there's never been a campaign where I was picked to win. Neither mayor election, state house election, speaker of the house election. I was never picked to win. I was always coming from behind. Won every one of them. And I won it because, you know, we bared down. Wasn't nobody going to outwork me. We want to put together an organization and a plan. And when you're going through something like that, you know, nothing happens without Allah's permission. And so a lot of the time you just have to surrender to His will. And learning how to surrender was a major thing for me, you know, getting me out of the way, surrendering to the will of God. And, you know, I talked and spoke with the minister, and the minister told me, he said, you know, and this was before it was jail and anything else. He said, you have to surrender, brother. And he said, Allah may even allow you to go to jail. I was looking at the phone. I said, minister, what this? And I mean, he saw something that I didn't, and I tell you that time was character development. It was character building, mixed feelings and controversy, understanding the gen. I mean, understanding who I am. You know, a lot of reading and a lot of teaching and a lot of learning. No phone going off, nobody to call, nobody, and so it was a period of time, short enough where I didn't go crazy, but long enough where I got the lesson that I needed to learn. And so, yeah, I mean, more than you can't hide and you can't cheat and all those kind of stuff. Yeah, those are elements of, I think, a bigger issue of character, a big issue of honesty, of being a man and what a man is, of standing, but also surrendering. And the power that gives you when you do that.
You mentioned your relationship with Minister Farrakhan.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most important thing about having a spiritual advisor like Minister Farrakhan?
I think I heard somebody say that you can't judge a tree by the bark it wears, but by the fruit it bears. And so it goes without saying of the incredible leadership that he's given to the nation and to our community and to humanity. So, you know, I don't want to talk about that. I could talk about that for a half hour. It goes without saying. But bringing it down on a very practical, natural level, I don't know if there's a person walking around today that is more misunderstood, that has endured more hatred, that has endured more enemies, that has endured more threats to his life, and that whose teaching and whose gift has been misconstrued, degraded, deformed by those who don't know him, haven't heard and haven't listened. And so to talk to somebody like that, you automatically walk in with this brother who is beautiful, understanding that it ain't nothing you can tell him that he ain't already heard. So you go in the room shutting up. You know, it's not a lot of people that you kind of just say, okay, I'm just going to hear this out. And so, you know, that relationship, you know, and I was telling, you know, my pastor, you know, the kind of advice and I think there's some privacy there, but the type of advice, the type of conversation, the type of knowledge and wisdom that he imparted to me, it not just priceless, but it was life-changing. And you know, I appreciate him deeply and thank him immensely for the role that he played in my life, not just directly. Minister Rasul Muhammad, you know, sending him to be there. Brother Victor Muhammad, you know, I don't think there would be a Victor Muhammad without a Minister Farrakhan. Maybe not in a shot, and you know, I think just the fruit of this brother. Also, are people who wrapped their arms around me, who aided my family in a time when they really needed it. In the midst of death threats, they stood with my wife and children and walked them out and made sure when I was locked away. And so I think that, you know, I don't have the words to articulate how thankful I am to the minister, but also the profound effect and impact that he's had on my life.
And finally, the question that everyone wants to know: what does the future hold for Brother Kwame Kilpatrick? A return to politics? A return to Detroit?
You know, I don't know. You know, I really believe that this is a period of time where I'm trying to commune, study, and figure that out. You know, politics, what I learned in politics, it's a very enslaving place to be. It's hard to be free in politics. And if the search for your spirit is to be free, it's hard, and we do need brothers and sisters to go into elected office and political offices and do that. But, you know, my spirit is telling me something different. Because you a Democrat or Republican, you have to do this, but you can't do that, and so it's somewhat limiting in what you can actually do. And I've done that. You know, I've been in the State House, I've been mayor, and so I believe there's something else for me. I don't know what that is yet, but I definitely have a testimony now, brother. I mean, you know, as far as talking to young couples, talking to brothers who, you know, they strong, they got it going on, they know exactly what they want to do, how they want to do it, but they don't have any God in their life. They don't really move by a spirit. They're not really connected to the community. You know, there's a testimony in here somewhere that I think I can share. But I don't know. At this particular time, I have no plans to be in elected office. Absolutely not. And I don't know if I'll go back to Detroit. My kids want to go back to Detroit every day. You know, that's their home. They want to be there. But Detroit is going through something that I don't want to be a part of. And I think what's happening there now, I believe I was extracted from it. You know, that what's happening in Detroit is not good. And so I don't want to even be a part of that. But there's something on the other side that I may want to be a part of. So I don't know yet.
Brother Kwame Kilpatrick, thank you.
Thanks, Ashai. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.